Auzubillahiminash-shaytanir-rajim. Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim. Viewers, today's my program is based on views of British couple. Especially, first of all, I introduce Mr. Shakil and Miss Madam Catherine. Shakil Sahiba. Madam Catherine, she worked as a retail manager for 25 years in different companies, and Mr. Shakil, he did job in police department for 25 years. Welcome in our show, Madam Catherine and Mr. Shakil, welcome. My first question goes to Miss Catherine. As you have visited in Pakistan for several years, several times, you might have observed the place of women in Pakistani society. Which kind of difference you noticed between Pakistani women and European women?
Okay. Firstly, assalamu alaikum to the audience, and thank you for inviting me. The main difference is probably the independence, where in the UK and a lot of Europe, women can do a bit more. They have a bigger voice, sometimes more responsibility within the workforce. But as the times that I've visited Pakistan over the years, I've found that it's slowly improving. It's going in the right direction. There's more
work. You think that now the women is going to the right directions?
I think I can see improvement. From when I first came to Pakistan, I didn't speak or see as many solicitors, lawyers, judges, doctors, and now when I go to functions, there are the many, and they've got a voice, a good voice, to be heard. It's improving.
You mean the Pakistani women now is doing the job in the different fields of life, and you are progressing about their rights?
Yeah, I'm impressed that they are moving forward. There is more work to be done, definitely. It's a slow process, but it's definitely going in the right direction.
It's going to be positive.
Yeah, it's not going backwards, it's going forwards. And that's all you can ask. But if it can keep progressing, then it's going to be better for everyone, women and men.
Okay. Now, Mr. Shakil, please tell me, what's your views about the shameless incident of New Zealand?
Assalamu alaikum. The New Zealand incident was abhorrent. It was terrible, and there's no place in society for that kind of action. It would appear that at the moment, in the world, the Muslims don't carry a good reputation. But that view.
What's the basic reason for this? The Muslims have lost their position in the European countries or the other countries.
Well, I think that worldwide, people are the same wherever you are, whichever society, whether it's Pakistan, America, UK. You have good and bad in every element. You have some people who become very radical. They have their own strong views, and it would appear that some of the reasons why Muslims don't have a great standing in communities at the present time is because of groups like ISIS, who, in the name of Islam, they commit atrocities themselves. But Muslims, the most Muslims in this world do not believe in that. Islam doesn't allow for us to kill, maim innocent people or anybody. We don't believe that, and it doesn't tell us in the Quran that that's right either. But unfortunately, what some of the smaller groups in the world, who are fascist groups, they take this on board and they treat all Muslims the same, as if we all believe and support the actions of a minority, and we don't.
Okay. Right. Madam Catherine, Please tell me, who is the responsible for neglecting and violating the basic rights of women in the third world countries?
I think the majority of it starts in the home. How the husband treats the wife, how the brother treats the sister, how the father and mother treat the children. So it comes from the home, and if things are accepted in the home, then they're going to be accepted in the village, in the towns, in the community, in business and in government. So unless, people are treated with respect, women and men, both should be treated with respect and, listened to, it's going to stay that way. So the voice has to be heard, and people have to take it on board and take some responsibility for their behaviour before things can improve.
Okay, and thank you. What do you think and your views about the current government and PM Imran Khan?
I've known of Imran Khan for many years. I was a true follower of Pakistan cricket when Imran hit the stage, the sports stage. I met him a couple of times when I was working in the UK, and so he was a hero of mine.
In the field of sports, game, or in politics?
Well, I guess you'd say it culminated from the sports stage. I mean, he was one of the main reasons why Pakistan won World Cups. He was such a good, fantastic player. I think that was believed by any sports fans all over the world. And now that I see he's in the political stage, I'm hoping that he contributes just the same as he did when he contributed towards Pakistan cricket.
Okay. Are you agreed the Imran Khan's U-turn?
I think whether it's a government or whether it's a company, I think the first thing is that we all make mistakes, and sometimes the people before us, they made mistakes. I think it's a great attribute. I think it's absolutely brilliant that somebody can see that if a mistake's been made in the past or you make a mistake, then you can put it right. I think that, and to understand and to accept responsibility is great, and I think Imran's doing a great job.
Okay. Do you satisfy the, I think, 8 or 9 months of ruled period?
Yes, I think Imran Khan has made a fantastic start. I'm one of his greatest critics, but also one of his greatest fans as well.
Okay. Let's move towards Madam Catherine's experience that you have gained during your visit in Pakistan.
Like I say, I've been here quite a few times, and each time I experience different things, different villages I've been to. Obviously, I like the food, the people, the fashion. I'm a female.
The behaviors.
Yeah, all women like the fashion and the shopping. And when one of the progresses that I've noticed is the huge shopping malls that are opening. They're very professional.
You have
good
visited
choice.
Gigamart. You have visited Gigamart.
I've shopped in Gigamart.
Okay.
And the other one in Islamabad, the
Centurion,
Centurion, yeah. I've shopped in both of them. You can't get me out.
Okay. Which thing did you like the most here?
I think the most thing I like is the natural beauty.
Natural beauty.
Yeah, I love the greenery, the land,
And
the animals.
traditions.
Yeah.
What's your opinion about the Pakistani traditions, customs?
I think it's like any country that you go to.
You have attended so many
weddings, functions.
Yeah, functions,
I
school
think
functions.
I think it's good. It's good fun. People seem to really appreciate each other, and the time and the effort that's been put in, whether it's by the children or by the people that have organised the function. you know, everybody turns out in the best clothes, they enjoy the day, they have time for each other. Very, very good time since I've been here. A lot of invites to places, I can't go to all of them.
Okay, what do you say about Mr. Shakil's personality?
Oh, well, here we go. Whilst he's here. No, we've been together a long time. He's very fair. He respects my opinion and my thoughts, and we tend to discuss a lot of things before we come to an answer. And we have some fun as well. We joke with each other, make life easier.
Okay, Mr. Shakil, what did you say about taxpayers in Pakistan?
I think that taxpayers in Pakistan are a little bit shy in that they're not really, my humble opinion is that the correct amount of tax is not being collected, and therefore public positions aren't always paid positions. For example,
The publics are not paying the taxes, or the government is not taking the tax.
Well, I think it's both. I think both are responsible for this. I think as human beings, and especially in Islam, we have a duty to pay our tax.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes people forget. My auntie, who's become a councillor, union councillor for, you know, for the area where she resides, she's not paid. She's not paid anything. She does the job free, gratis, for free.
Yeah.
So that's her commitment to society. So, but I think that if people in Pakistan want Pakistan to be a great nation, then, and they want great roads, they want tourism, all these things come at a price. You can't expect our Prime Minister, Mr. Imran Khan, to pull a rabbit from a hat. He needs some support, and he will only succeed, and we will only succeed as a nation, because I love Pakistan, if everybody pays.
What did you say about the previous rulers in Pakistan?
Well, I didn't know them personally.
Hopeless condition.
I can only go by what I hear.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not a politician, but what I've heard about previous leaders is not very good. They didn't fulfil their promises to the community, to the people of Pakistan. But let's just hope Mr. Imran Khan carries on the way he's going. I'm sure he's going to make some positive changes to the nation of Pakistan and the people of Pakistan.
Okay. Madam Catherine, please give us some views, some your tips for women.
For women.
Yeah, for women.
Keep using your voice. Obviously, be respectful to others. You don't have to, if you have a point to put across, you don't have to shout. You don't have to be loud or aggressive, but keep talking, keep using your voice in the right places. I think as women support each other, that is really important. And as parents, as sisters, as mothers, to actually be a role model to the people around you, to the men and the women, and show them how you treat your other women, how you treat your daughters, how you treat your sisters, and that can only be a positive influence so that other people see this is the way forward.
Mr. Shakil, what did you say about the ignorance and poverty in Pakistan?
The poverty in Pakistan is
lack of industries.
Well, I think that if you look at Pakistan in general, the rich are rich and the poor are poor. And I think that, as I mentioned before, my auntie, Batish Jilani, she's a counsellor and she does it for free. In the Second World War, Sir Winston Churchill said, don't ask what your country can do for you, but ask what you can do for your country. Yeah. You see, I think Pakistan should adopt that. Don't every time you do something, always think what can you get from it. Don't always think that Pakistan owes you. It doesn't. See what you can do, what positive things you can do. Like my auntie does her service for free. Let's all see if we can do a little bit extra for nothing, for free, to make our country great. I think if we do that, we're going to be good.
Nowadays, what is the condition in European countries of Pakistani people or Muslims?
The impression that most countries have of Pakistan is probably it's not a world leader, that Muslims, I think people do believe that Muslims are good people, honest people, but it's like everything else, you know, a few people make it not so good. So the actions that a few Muslim people might do doesn't leave a great impression on Pakistan overall. But I think Pakistan has the ability, the capability to change things.
How many countries you have visited?
You don't answer that?
You can answer.
I think I can confidently say we've been to at least 20.
At least 20 countries. And which countries you like most?
I think every country has its own appeal. Every country has something good to offer. But Catherine and I normally like to go to countries where there is sea, you know, we can go to the seaside.
What do you say about the Pakistani weather for seasons?
Pakistan weather is absolutely brilliant.
Brilliant.
We love the sun.
Yeah.
We love the sun. We just wish that Pakistan had a bit more sea. But it's got natural beauty, absolutely phenomenal, fantastic. Excuse me.
Okay, viewers, thank you, Mr. Shkil and Madam Catherine Shkil. You come in my show. I hope you enjoy this interview, and I will see you next time with a new guest, same channel, same program. Allah Hafiz.